popping. Lights are turned down low.
My 7
Let
minutes
it
hasn't
snow,
started
let it
yet.
snow, let it snow.
Sometimes I feel like Christmas starts in September. The moment summer ends, it's just one thing after another leading up to the main event, Christmas morning. At first you feel like you've got time, but it's like a term paper. You were supposed to pace yourself, coming up with a theme and doing the research, writing a rough draft and then editing it until it's ready to be turned in and graded. You're like, that's not due for months. And then suddenly, it's the weekend before it's due and Halloween is coming and you better start thinking about costumes. I used to be the mom who made the elaborate costume. I once handcrafted a wizard's beard with a wire hanger, felted wool, and hot glue. This year, my youngest went in the same gorilla costume he wore last year, and he'll wear it till it floods. When I was growing up, I cycled through 3 costumes. I was either a raisin, where I'd cut off the corners of a Glad trash bag for leg holes, cut slits in the sides for armholes, and tie the cinch around my neck. A hobo, where, you did it, I bet. A hobo, where I'd raid my dad's closet and wear his old work clothes and tie a neckerchief around a stick. Or a tourist, where I'd raid my dad's closet and wear his old work clothes and put a camera around my neck. Now I dress up like a tired mom or a nurse, because I'm both. Once Halloween is over, it's a quick turnover to Thanksgiving, and this is where I panic. The later in the month Thanksgiving is, the worse the panic becomes, because it marks the final countdown for Christmas. I've got Thanksgiving down to a fine science. I use the same menu that was used when I was a child. It's written down, it's saved as a Word document on my computer, and I even have the grocery list broken down by the items location at the grocery store. Growing up, my parents collected people, so Thanksgiving was straight up crazy. There were usually dozens of us, Baileys, and then a few other families and some strays picked up off the street. My dad was notorious for inviting whoever was in line with him at the grocery store when we sent him out for some missing ingredients. My job was bread and ironing, and that alone took 2 days. Thanksgiving now requires hours of preparation and planning, and list making, and shopping, and shopping, and shopping. And then there's the cooking, which starts the day before Thanksgiving and ends the day of Thanksgiving with gravy on the stovetop at 6 p.m. Between getting kids back to school and getting that gorilla costume out and putting on Thanksgiving, I can barely think about Christmas. Black Friday, that's a joke. My idea of Black Friday is sleeping in with my blackout shades drawn until I can finally wake up, eat a whole pie, a couple of turkey sandwiches, and if I venture out, it's only for donuts. The end of Thanksgiving is my Sunday night cram. I am in full freak out now. I've got to get the house clean, get the 9 Christmas boxes out of the shed, get all the decorations up, schedule the annual go cut down the Christmas tree with the in-laws, book the play tickets for the one night a year my husband and I venture out to a sit-down menu restaurant with our offspring, decorate the tree, and then do the shopping for the family. And when I say for the family, I mean all the shopping for all of the family, including, hey sweetie, here's that cute pair of knee socks I found and some chocolate for my stocking that I'll put it in your top drawer. Then there's the wrapping. I would easily say that's the thing I dislike the most. No one wants to see a picture of my Mod Podge last year's leftover sale wrapping paper job on Instagram or Facebook. I've had visions of white tissue paper and colorful ribbons, but I have boys, and boys just don't care. When I was growing up, Christmas was so over the top. My dad would actually take us to Toys R Us and allow us to wander through the store as we identified what we wanted and made a list. We'd sing that old Toys R Us theme song about wanting to be a Toys R Us kid. Anybody remember that? Yeah. My parents would hide the bags of toys in plain sight in their bedroom. We'd sneak in there when my mom wasn't paying attention, which was most of the time for most of my life, and rifle through them. Every Christmas was a Barbie fest. The clothes and the dolls and the cars and the house, it was like keeping up with the Kardashians. My mom made us take shifts wrapping presents, which took forever because there were so many presents and there were so many kids. And then she would tag every single one with, to so-and-so, love Santa, so that every present under that tree was from Santa. And between the rifling and the wrapping and Santa's generosity, there was no chance in ever believing in him. Besides, Santa was no Eleanor Bailey. We had so many presents that we could barely wade through the front door, and we had to go on church assistance on the 1st of January every year. At some point in my early motherhood, I felt a distinct obligation to begin an annual Christmas letter. Ah, the Christmas letter. The once yearly brag rag that leaves the reader feeling like a failure. I was successful for a number of years, but as the kids grew older, the letters became less share-worthy. I finally gave up trying to come up with impressive accomplishments and settled for silly anecdotes and poems. One year, I even wrote a haiku. The Christmas letter is the epitome of what's stressful about the season. You have to recall the whole year of events, only highlight the good ones, leave out the bad, and then take a choreographed picture with everyone in shades of taupe holding hands, all while you're hemorrhaging money. I've spent hours thinking about that picture, only to be outdone by someone whose kids are still small and cute. They get older, by the way, and their teeth get big, and they get acne, and they won't wear what you want them to wear. No one wants to hear about your kid in rehab or jail, or someone's learning disabilities, or how you started counseling or were diagnosed with ADHD, which they all knew all along. So the Christmas letter has gone to the wayside, even though I did want to brag this year about how my oldest was one of the top under 21 marijuana distributors in Clark County before it got popular. As Christmas gets closer, I start thinking about all of the family traditions that we don't do. Growing up, we would carol at least 3 nights every year. Christmas Eve alone was a caroling marathon. We'd probably go to like 10 homes, spending time in each one. Sorry, they're stapled. We had to start dinner at 5 so we could jam in the food, the family Christmas story, the littlest angel Christmas story, acting out the Bible Christmas story, opening the one Christmas Eve gift, before we'd all pile into like 3 cars and head out. My kids don't even sing Christmas carols, and I don't even think they know the lyrics to any of the traditional ones. I tried unsuccessfully to reproduce my childhood Christmas for years, wanting to replicate the magic my mom had created. This led to angry Christmas Eve outbursts, tearful Christmas morning, and ham juice all over the backseat of my car in an effort to cook Christmas dinner for 20. Christmas morning finally dawns, and by dawn I mean 8 a.m. I have a rule about that. No one wakes me up before 8 a.m., seeing as I have just gone to bed. My term paper's done. It's not going to get any better. And I hesitantly hand it in and cross my fingers that I got it right. The boys wait until the appointed time and then pile into bed with us. We say a prayer, and then we line up in order of size, which will put me in front in no time soon. And then we march into the living room, just as I did as a child, singing a Christmas carol that they don't know the words to. As we take turns opening the gifts one at a time, the older boys ooh and ah over each one, and I get hugs from all but the youngest, who tends to complain and criticize about the gifts because he has no social skills. Waffles with the in-laws have replaced an elaborate brunch, and a sandwich bar I found is so much easier than a ham and 6 sides. We then load up my purse with contraband candy and finish the day at the movie theater, where I managed to stay awake. At the end of the night, I take a moment to reflect on what I managed to accomplish. I'm a mother of 3 boys, the 7th of 10 kids, the wife of 1 man whose Christmas was normal, by the way, and a daughter of a Christmas legend. I am covered in battle scars and war wounds of unmet expectations, desire, guilt, and disappointment, but filled with the knowledge that I am a conqueror, a creator of magical moments, and a warrior of wonderful memories.